Hello and welcome to Nosleep today. I know it has been a while since our last recording. I am Lui and here I am with Kirazu again today to draw another Nosleep video. Here's a notice. We read these stories in advance for him to know what to draw and for me to know how to read it properly for the best experience. Now, let us begin. This is you from July 14th, 2018. Please read if you've forgotten about him again. This will help you remember. The title is more or less just for me, so if I find this in my post history a month from now, I won't be making the same mistakes. First off, hello. My name isn't important, but what is important is the things I've been experiencing for the past 9 years, from the first time I saw him. When I was 9 years old, still living the old worn-out house on the corner, I used to always play outside near the woods under a tall pine tree. It was closed off by a smaller birch and patchy shrubbery, which made it a nice little spot to get out of the sun. Hang things from the branches and have a little natural clubhouse sort of setup. I spent a lot of time there. Since growing up in the poor old house, I never had much in a way of entertainment. We didn't have cable TV and the AC never worked, so there was no point in staying inside during those long summers anyway. The trees were my way of finding a place to have fun. It was like that as long as I could remember, and it ended when he visited for the first time. I have such a clear memory of that day. Which is why it's so shocking that he can make me forget it when he needs to. I remember playing with a discarded nail, drawing little lines in the dirt and pretending I was digging trenches for my tiny people soldiers to battle in. I heard a laugh coming from the woods next to me, and when I looked, there he was, a man wearing a dark red pinstripe suit with unnaturally long fingers and forearms. For this reason, I immediately put the name Mr. Hands to him. I don't know, but I immediately knew a set of rules I had to follow with this man, right as I saw him. He never told me then, but I knew them without needing it. The game he played was called Keepsy, and the rules were simple, if not a bit frightening. They came in the form of a short rhyme. Mr. Hands will give you a ball. You must hold it while you run and crawl, because if the ball drops, you'll feel a great pain, and Keepsy will start it all over again. You will forget it all when it ends, but never let him get to 10. Oddly enough, I found myself saying it out loud to him, and this prompted him to nod, and before I knew it, I was holding a shiny red ball in my hand. The game had begun. He started to move towards me in these long, exaggerated steps. I had to run, and so I did. I got halfway across the yard, actually, when I tripped in a hole my dog had dug, and turned over to see Mr. Hand standing over me. I felt a sharp pain in my stomach, and next thing I knew, I didn't know anything. I had no idea how I got in there, why my stomach hurt, or why I was out of breath. I did all I knew a 9-year-old could do. I sat down and cried. Later that night, my mom discovered a scar on my stomach, a thin line pointing downwards. This is important, because I have 6 of them now, and I understand that they are tally marks. Every time you lose Keepsy, he leaves another tally mark, and you forget all of it until the next time you see him. And unfortunately, when you see him, you have to play. I'm playing right now, which is why I'm writing this from a bus station in Utah. I've lost his trail for now, but I know distance doesn't bother him. He always finds his target. I know that much. And given that my bus is late, I don't expect to be winning this round of Keepsy. However, precautions need to be taken. This part, I am writing directly to myself. You know what the rules are ahead of time. The next time you see Mr. Hands, you will be prepared. Keep the car doors unlocked at all times so you can get in faster. Never be outside more than 100 yards away from your car, and try to keep tree lines to your back. He will be coming somewhere between 2 years to 5 months after reading this, so you must be ready for another game by November at least. Be sure to tell work that on short notice you may have to go on leave. All you have to do is hold the ball for 2 weeks. That's how you won the 4th game, and I suspect that's how you will win the others. I don't know what happens when he gets to 10, but you can't let it go that far. Good luck, and I hope you check your post history sooner rather than later. I feel like he's close. Now, since Fabian is still drawing this, I did find the second part of this. So we are going to read that for now. So, Fabian, if this is good, just shake your mouse up and down really quickly. Alright. I'm gonna be a little slower here, so we can let Fabian draw for some time. Hello! If you missed my previous post on the topic, you can find that here, which is the link we were at before. To put it shortly, though, I am being followed by an entity playing a game of cat and mouse with me. He is called Mr. Hands, and the game is called Keepsy. The goal of the game is to keep a red ball away from Mr. Hands for as long as possible. If he gets it, he leaves a scar on my stomach as a tally mark, and you forget everything that happened until the next game. And if he gets a 10, well, I don't know what will happen. People have taken interest in my plight, so I thought I could keep some updates going. Maybe I won't feel so alone if I have people cheering me on. Regardless, I'm in the middle of a game right now, and this marks day 2 of safety. I've crossed many state borders by this point, and should be safe for a bit. He will find me if I stay here, though. He found me before. That brings me to another topic, though. My findings with these things that have happened before, and a bit of research. First and foremost, people say he might be a demon, and honestly, I wouldn't doubt it. They like to play games and follow sets of rules. That said, I think I know how he may have come into my life, and it requires a story that goes even further back to when my dad was still alive, and before my mom saw my scar. So there has been a little bit I have been keeping from you guys for the sake of safety. I don't want any of you trying to repeat my father's actions. I never knew him well, but I think I know why, and it's dangerous. Well, according to my mother, my father had a large group of friends he would often visit, and he'd never spend too much time at home, always traveling and sightseeing every couple of months. I always thought it was for work, because he would always tell Mom that this was only temporary and things would improve. They never did, though. My dad was murdered in Texas on one of his trips. The only thing found with him was a notebook where he wrote about his trips and a bag full of clothes. Here's where it gets interesting, though, and why I thought it was worth considering. His right hand had been removed and was never found. I don't know if he had the same marks as me or if he was playing Keepsy exactly, but I think that Mr. Hands had something to do with this. Maybe that's why I gave him the name. I think that my dad may have been involved with him a lot more than I even ever was. My reason for thinking that is because I could barely remember when I was 5 playing in the backyard in a shape of rocks that I assumed was Mom setting up another garden. When Dad saw me in there, he got very upset and grounded me for the rest of the day. He spent practically all day out there after that, and the next day, he went on his first trip. I've been piecing these things together recently. I haven't really been able to move now until I don't really know Mr. Hands exists until the game is afoot. I think I have no idea what that word says. Made a deal with Mr. Hands. Or maybe something associated with him and he lost the game he intended to win. Now the game has been passed on to me somehow. And with that, there was only one thing I needed, that notebook. My mother still has it, I believe, along with the other things he owned. I know he always left with it, and I feel like it was his way of staying aware of the games after wins and loses, and keeping information on the game. What else could it be if I'm right, and him being part of all of this? That's why I have a game plan. My mother lives in Tennessee, and I'm in Kentucky. I plan to go back there and see if I could get the notebook from her. If I can, I may have a better shot than ever winning Keepsy. It's eating away at me. I know there's something useful in it. With that, I don't have much more to go on at the moment. I'm more in the position to be active now, and I also want to ask something of you guys, who have become invested in this, helping me with some research. If you guys can find anything on games, playing demons, or really any other accounts of people who have seen Mr. Hands or something that sounds like him, please let me know. This is important to me now. I'll also be answering any questions you guys may have as long as they are in reason. I don't feel comfortable going into details of the day I was grounded until I know that it's not repeatable. I'm not taking the chance. I know the internet would do something stupid to prove a point. However, if you think it might help, or you're just curious, by all means, ask away. I will also be titling all future updates in this way for ease of formatting them. I don't think this post will explode like my first one did, and I'm really not interested in that. But I would like it if a couple of people stuck around to keep me company. That said, I know that one thing is certain for now. I can't deny it, even if I wanted to. I can't run forever. I know I can't. I have to get details. I've been feeling really strange ever since I got involved with Reddit, and I feel like there's more to it now than there ever used to be. Alright, since I want to give Fabian more time for drawing, which, by the way, that looks like a certain monster I've seen somewhere. I think you guys will notice it if you've watched that channel as well. But since Fabian's not done, we're gonna go see if we could find some music. Fabian, go on mute for a second and tell me if what songs I should put on. If you could hear me. Or you're too busy drawing. Oh well. Ooh, look at that. Also, if you liked the video, please subscribe. It'd be a big help to us. Let me play this. And I hope you guys enjoy these videos. I certainly do. And be good people.
Let's suppose that you're writing a really important email to a colleague.
Tell me why I'm falling. Oh, life's calling, but it's hard because I'm falling. I'm falling. Tell me why I'm falling. Oh, life's calling, but it's hard because I'm falling. Started to fall, and where were you? How could I know you were falling too? Grabbing the wind, cutting my skin, but it's hard because I'm falling. Tell me why I'm falling. Oh, life's calling, but it's hard because I'm falling.
Hey Fabian, you almost done with that drawing? A little bit more shading? Alright. So, I'm gonna thank the audience once more, because these are not professional videos. These are far from it. And me and Fabian would like to thank you for watching them. It's good. It's good for us.